Hey travelers, welcome back to Laura's Travel Talk. Today we're going to look at part 3 in our Unique, Weird, and Fun Spots to See series. So let's get started. First off, we have The Wave in Arizona. It's a stunning sandstone rock formation with surreal wave-like patterns located in the Coyote Buttes North area. With rippling red and orange stripes, it's accessible only by permit due to its delicate beauty. Interested in hiking the Wave in Arizona? Well, the only way to do this permit-required once-in-a-lifetime hike is to win the Wave lottery. It's a highly competitive process, but with some persistence, you can absolutely make it happen. Oh, and FYI, they only issue 64 permits daily. Good luck! Next up, we have the Letchworth State Park in New York. Letchworth State Park is known as the Grand Canyon of the East, and it offers stunning vistas, waterfalls, and forests in upstate New York. Visitors can hike to the Upper Falls Scenic View and Middle Falls Lookout for breathtaking views and photo opportunities. The pedestrian bridge at the Lower Falls and the archery field overlook provide panoramic views of the Genesee River Gorge, while Inspiration Point offers exceptional views of the waterfalls and upstate New York. It's definitely one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen in upstate New York. Next up, it's the Mystery Spot in California. The Mystery Spot is a gravitational anomaly located in the redwood forests just outside of Santa Cruz, California. It's a circular area around 150 feet or 46 meters in diameter. Within the Mystery Spot, you'll be stunned as your perceptions of the laws of physics and gravity are questioned. But don't take our word for it. Come and decide for yourself. The Mystery Spot was discovered in 1939 by a group of surveyors and opened to the public in 1940. The Mystery Spot has amazed and perplexed hundreds of thousands of visitors from all over the world, and many return time and time again to experience these puzzling variations of gravity, perspective, and height. I have been to the Mystery Spot, and it is everything they say it is, so go check it out for yourself. So our next spot is Devil's Kettle Falls, Minnesota. It's a waterfall where half of the river disappears into a hole and no one knows where it goes. So the Devil's Kettle Waterfall is a unique and adventurous destination in Minnesota located in the Judge C.R. Magny State Park. This waterfall has long puzzled and fascinated visitors with its mysterious split. The Brule River flows through the park and splits into two at a large rock outcropping. And then one side of the river plunges 50 feet down a cliff and continues its journey to Lake Superior. The other side of the river drops into a deep hole and seemingly disappears. Where does the water go? For centuries, people have wondered where the water goes. After it enters the hole, some have speculated that it flows underground and reemerges somewhere under Lake Superior. Others have suggested that it travels to Canada or even the Mississippi River. To test these theories, researchers and curious explorers have thrown various objects into the hole, such as ping pong balls, dye, GPS trackers. However, none of these have ever been found again. Next on our list is the Bonneville Salt Flats in Utah. This is a surreal, otherworldly flat landscape perfect for photographers and car enthusiasts. I'd categorize this as very unique. It's a 12 by 5 mile stretch occupying 300,000 acres of Utah's pristine West Desert. The Bonneville Salt Flats is like no other place on earth. It's a salt crust that ranges from a few inches to 5 feet thick, and it forms a perfectly flat, uniform, blindingly white crust as far as the eye can see. And then the flats are about 12 miles long and 5 miles wide, covering about 46 square miles in total. So visitors from all around the world have traveled to see this pristine, otherworldly landscape about an hour and a half west of Salt Lake City. Aside from the beautiful views, the Salt Flats are an international hub for car racing. Several speed records have been set at the flats, including the one-time land speed record of 630 miles per hour, established in 1970, and it stood until 1983. Pretty interesting place. So the next item on our list is Apostle Island's Ice Caves in Wisconsin. This is stunning ice formations along Lake Superior in the winter, offering dramatic scenery for adventurers. If If ever there were something worthy of bucket list status, the Apostle Islands ice caves located on Lake Superior along the Bayfield Peninsula would have a spot near the top of the list. Why? Because the National Park Service can only open them every so often. They're not open every year. Will they open this year? I don't know. We sure hope so. Part of the reason any visit to the ice caves is so special is due to the fact that they are less and less frequently open to the public. It's due to a myriad of factors related to safety as determined by the National Park Service, but it can be summarized by stating we need lots of cold weather to make ice, and then long periods of little to no wind on Lake Superior to let that ice lock up in the Apostle Islands and continue to build into a safe sheet that allows passage along the mainland coast where the caves are located. And in recent years, Lake Superior hasn't cooperated. We've had plenty of cold weather there, but begins to make ice, and then the northeast wind will blow through, and it's all out the next week. Lather, rinse, repeat, over and over again. It all adds up to the unfortunate fact that having the ice caves open to the public has become less predictable, rarer, and thus worthy of bucket list, should they ever become accessible again in the future. So just as a reminder, for all of these locations that I'm listing, there will be a website available in the description of the video. So our next item is the National Museum of Funeral History in Houston, Texas. The National Museum of Funeral History is an educational experience like no other and offers something for everyone. That's a broad statement. Discover America's largest collection of authentic, historical funeral service items with 15 exhibits to explore, learn about caskets and coffins, hearses through the history, plus the funerals of presidents, popes, celebrities, and more, while you witness the cultural heritage of the funeral service industry and its time-honored tradition of compassion. At the National Museum of Funeral History, any day above ground is a good one. So goes the whimsical tagline for the Houston institution, with an expansive collection of items ranging from an authentic strand of President Abraham Lincoln's hair and a coffin built for three, to a pair of hiking boots worn by the late Robin Williams in the film RV. The bizarre 30,500 square foot museum is the largest of its kind, housing the most funeral artifacts in the world. It was founded in 1992 by Undertaker Robert Waltrip to educate the public and preserve the heritage of one of the man's oldest professions, death care. So this next spot is a little bit weird. It's Malachi's Kalaupapa Peninsula in Hawaii. It's a remote and beautiful part of Hawaii with rich history and incredible coastal views, and it's accessible only by mule, foot, or small plane. In 1866, during the reign of Kamehameha V, the Hawaiian legislature passed a law that resulted in the designation of Malachi as the site for a leper colony, where patients who were seriously affected by leprosy, also known as Hansen's disease, could be quarantined to prevent them from infecting others. At that time, the disease was little understood, and it was believed to be highly contagious and was incurable until the advent of antibiotics. The communities were people with leprosy, and they lived under the administration of the Board of Health, which appointed superintendents on the island. Hawaii's fifth largest island, Molokai, is only 38 miles long and 10 miles across at its widest point, and it's home to the highest sea cliffs in the world and the longest continuous fringing reef. Malachi remains true to its island roots, with a high percentage of its population being of Native Hawaiian ancestry, who continue to preserve their rural lifestyle thanks to their love of the land. Whether you're led by a guide along the cliffs leading to Kalaupapa National Historical Park, or discovering Pepohaku Beach, one of Hawaii's largest white sand beaches, Malachi is truly an island of outdoor adventure, where Hawaii's past comes alive. Check out the regions of Malachi for yourself, because it's gorgeous. Okay, this next one definitely goes in the category of weird. It is the Congress Avenue Bridge Bats in Austin, Texas. The Congress Avenue Bridge, an iconic symbol of the city, becomes the stage for the largest urban bat colony in North America. Hundreds of thousands of Mexican free-tailed bats emerge from their daytime roosts beneath the bridge, creating a breathtaking display that captivates locals and visitors alike. This remarkable phenomenon is a testament to the harmonious coexistence of nature and urban life in Austin. The Mexican free-tailed bats, scientifically known as Tattariba brasiliensis, are the stars of the show. I'm sure I mispronounced that. These flying mammals are aptly named for their tails, which extend past their tail membrane, giving them a unique appearance. Congress Avenue Bridge, which spans the Colorado River in downtown Austin, has become the favored maternity roosting site for these bats. So every year around March or April, the colony returns to give birth to their pups, and by late summer, the population of bats swells to an astonishing 1.5 million. I cannot stand there with those bats flying over me. Okay, this next one's certainly weird. Dismal's Canyon in Alabama. It's a hidden natural wonder where bioluminescent creatures called dismalites light up the canyon at night. What are dismalites? The glowworms of Dismal's canyons aren't really worms, but the larva stage of a unique native type of fungal gnat endemic to North America called Orphelia fultoni. Close cousins to the glowworms of New Zealand and Australia, dismalites live in the moist, moss-lined walls of the canyon, the ideal place for them to weave a sticky web to capture prey. Each fall, they emit a bright blue-green light from both their head and tail to attract food, usually insects like Alabama's plentiful mosquitoes. Brittany Slappy McCaffrey, Dismal's Canyon's resident biologist, says dismalites illuminate using a process similar to that of fireflies. So that's interesting, but no, I don't think so. So I think this is a good spot to end right now for our unique, weird, and fun spots to see, part 3. And subscribe and like, and you'll be notified when I put out part 4 and possibly part 5, because I have a whole list of spots. And I appreciate you joining us and subscribing to the channel. And I will put out a next one in a couple weeks. So until then, you can enjoy the 50 U.S. states, one a week. And until then, look out for those bats under the bridge.